It's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday.
Love that.
Isn't that great? Short work week begins now.
Wow.
It's a Taco Tuesday.
Wow.
Can't wait, which means Iron Mike's stopping by today.
Taco Tuesday!
Thank you, LeBron.
I heard Iron Mike loves tacos. Don't you, Mike? He'll be here for some trivia, giving away prizes, but hope you had a nice Memorial Day weekend. We salute the fallen troops. Hope you enjoyed some Pee Wee Herman, some Mission Impossible. Hope you had an OKC Alex Palu sort of weekend. We be rocking out. Let's go.
Yeah, maybe a Lilo and Stitch breaking all types of records type of weekend.
Yeah, buddy.
If you got little kids my age, my kids' age, 8 and 5, they love Lilo and Stitch. That is like.
They also love eating boogers.
That is
so
true.
why do you take their opinions?
But Lilo and Stitch, big deal. People love it.
Sweeping the nation, breaking Memorial Day records. Lots of good movies, lots of good basketball.
Not too shabby for Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible made a couple $100 million worldwide.
Mission Impossible, because anything's possible,
That's
Rich.
true. You ain't kidding.
So, yeah, I hope you had a Tom Cruise, Lilo, Alex Palu, OKC sort of weekend.
OKC.
Happy birthday, Lenny Kravitz, today. It's kind of gross that he's 61, right? Got all those abs. What sports is he playing, by the way?
What's he doing?
How's he so ripped? I've seen his technique. I've seen his workouts. It's insane. Crazy genetics. Happy birthday to that guy. And we have lots to get to today, like we said. Mike Tyson trivia, Iron Mike trivia. We got to talk about robots if we have time.
No, that's
if we have time. And something that we're going to pose, I know Rich has things to get to, but what's your big three? We'll explain. This has nothing to do with Ice Cube. What's your big three?
It's a good question. And it has to do with a photo op. Get to the Knicks Pacers in a second. I want to let you know it's a third of the way through the baseball season.
Wow.
Officially, 54 of the 162 have been played for a lot of teams. And Danny G, our teams have the same exact record.
Yeah.
And COVINO's Yankees are a half a game better. So our little season-long bet is like dead heat.
It's
third
been a
of the
fun
way
season,
through.
though, man. Baseball popping, as we've been saying. I got that from Deion Sanders. I'm not going to steal that quote, but baseball is popping on a different level. Big stars, big numbers, new stars.
Yeah.
The Cal Raleighs of the world hitting bombs. The O'Neal Cruzes, the Ellie De La Cruzes, the Kyle Schwarbers, the Judges. Some of the usual suspects just hitting bombs.
But I want to start the show with a rest in peace for a musician that I just saw passed away. And when I heard this name, interestingly enough, I think it's one of those guys that you know the name, but you've never connected the dots. La, 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 la.
I'm sorry.
Connect the dots. You're fresh off the Pee Wee documentary. I get it.
I'm fresh off the Pee Wee Herman documentary that premiered over the weekend. That was something else that a lot of people watched on HBO Max. He seemed to be a way better fella than that Brett Favre guy.
Different style documentary.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to disrespect the death announcement. But let's hear it, because I don't know this story.
The guy's name who passed away, Rick Derringer. Now, you might say, Rick Derringer, that name rings a bell. He falls in the category for me as a guy that has done multiple things, but I guarantee the average jabroni would never connect the dots. He was the lead of a band back in the day your parents probably liked called the McCoys, famously known for Hang On Sloopy.
Sloopy lives in the worst part of town.
Sloopy, hang on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know this song, right?
Of course.
You know what else this guy wrote? Cut the music, Sam. Rick Derringer, also the guy behind so many of the wrestling theme songs of our childhood, he wrote and produced Real American, the Hulk Hogan theme.
That's why Rich knows him. Wasn't your first CD Pile Driver?
Shut up.
The hardest Rich ever rocked out was to Hulk Hogan's theme song.
Well, speaking of Rock It Out, he also wrote the Demolition theme song. Remember that one? So just a guy that, I don't know if you ever would have thought the guy that wrote and sung Hang On Sloopy also sang Real American. Did you know that?
No, I never connected that at all.
You know what it's like? It's like Manfred Mann. We all know Blinded by the Light when we were kids.
We all got those lyrics wrong.
It's not a douche.
Courtesy of our parents who sang it wrong.
Wrapped up like a douche. No, it's
Another-
wrapped up like a deuce.
Another wrestling connection, Rich. He worked with Cyndi Lauper.
He did. Derringer. But the Manfred Mann connection, boy, it's similar to me. You know, Blinded by the Light. Same guy wrote Do-Wah Diddy Diddy Dum Diddy Do. And that seems like those songs going to be more different.
You know why? Because they transcended generations, and those generations were drastically different. Like 50s to the 60s, 50s to the 70s.
Yeah.
They're drastically different. And then, of course, those wrestling themes have nothing to do with Hang On Sloopy.
Yeah, I think that.
By the way, you
about,
brought up
about
Manfred Mann. That song was written by
Bruce
Springsteen. That's the fun fact.
I also feel that way about Kylie Minogue. Very popular with the women and the gay community. She has all those dance songs from the 2000s. She wrote The Locomotion. That was her song, too. So it's
you know what this is an example of? And it is wild. I'm not downplaying it. But it's like if you hear early Beatles, they went from I Want to Hold Your Hand to I Am the Walrus, right? Like drastically different because of the generational differences. Like it changed real quick. Can't say the same, at least from today's perspective, about recent music.
Well, we
From
talked about
today's ears, it sounds similar. Years removed, maybe in the future we'll be able to hear the differences.
But we've talked about how in the 90s, artists from the 70s were long gone. In the 2000s, artists from the 80s were long gone. We're in the 2020s, 2000s artists. Katy Perry, Maroon 5, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, they're all still here. Jay-Z, Rihanna, Beyonce. It's like they decided they just didn't want to go away.
I
And
just had that
they're
thought.
all lingering.
I had that thought over the weekend because I was watching The Wedding Singer. It must be on constant replay on regular television, on like TNT or something, when they're not playing basketball. And Billy Idol's return in that movie seemed like we hadn't seen Billy Idol in 130 years. But he was an 80s star, and that movie was in the 90s.
He was less than 10 years removed from like White Wedding.
No, seriously. Like that movie was late 90s. I get it. But you would have thought Billy Idol was like 75 when he did that movie.
Oh my God, it's Billy Idol.
Yeah.
No.
Because it was so far removed, they hadn't done anything. What Rich is saying now, someone in the 2000s, 25 years later, is still kind of relevant or could be making new music. They're still around on our conscious radar where it wasn't like that back in the day.
Kelly Clarkson. Like I said, all the artists from the 2000s are still sort of around today. They
Still sort of around. In fact, you know who we're talking about today? Creed. Creed came out in the late 90s. We're still talking about him.
Yeah, Gwen Stefani. Like, a lot
And
of
they're
these
still
artists,
visible.
They're still right in your...
Right.
In the 90s. My point is the Bee Gees weren't doing big things in the 90s.
No. You
you
spit them up and you moved on.
Like 60s, rock and roll stars weren't doing big things in the 80s. 20 years later, most artists back in the day were we had moved past them.
Right.
It's different now. So, hey, rest in peace. Brought that up because I just saw it right before we went on the air.
You
Rick
just wanted to play Hulk Hogan's theme song. Stop pretending.
I just know.
That's your only tie to this guy.
You never in your life thought the same guy that sang Real American sang Hang On Sloopy. Never.
No, you're right. Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Remember to stream our show, all of Fox Sports Radio shows. I mean, you could skip some of them, but please listen to ours. 24/7 on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
You said it, buddy.
Fox Sports Radio. Thank you guys again. You could preset us number one. Preset it. Don't forget it, because we're not Ron Popeil. We're Covino and Rich.
All right. Now, after watching, can I say this with like total certainty? I almost feel like yes. After watching OKC yesterday,
They're up 3-1 in case you were sleeping.
after watching the Thunder and the T-Wolves put up a fight. Oh, I was pulling for them to make it a series. Every time they got within striking distance, SGA or, by the way, Chet Holmgren to me looks like he's Beavis and Butthead. He's like, he got a pinhead or what?
Just Butthead.
He's like, he could play Butthead in a movie. I'm like, man, he looks more.
Hey, Butthead, this guy looks like your brother.
Shut up, Davis.
He's
This guy looks like a bunghole. He looks like you.
Goofiest clutch player in the NBA.
Hey,
Chet Holmgren looks like.
Pro basketball player.
This guy's on fire.
So
This guy rolls.
when you watch that OKC team, throughout the year, we were the fools that were all like, yeah, I don't know. They're 20 games better than everyone. There was a reason. Danny, is it crazy for me to say that we're watching the other conference finals as almost like whoever's going to be the runner-up, because I think OKC is going to wipe the floor with the
but
Knicks
styles
floor.
make fights, man. We say it all the time.
Exactly. It was a bad matchup from the beginning. And don't forget the first game in Minnesota, as we thought might happen when we were filling in for Dan Patrick. Remember I told you ask any Laker if it's easy to play in Minnesota? That first game back home for them wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Thunder weren't even in that game. That was the first game in the series last night, where the game was close.
Yeah. First, it's, there's been a lot of blowout games in the NBA playoffs. I just think that whoever wins, you know what it's like? It's like the AFC Championship in the 90s. You were sort of playing to see who would lose to the Cowboys, 49ers, or Packers, or, Giants. Like the AFC being the runner-up back then every year feels to me like the Eastern Conference Finals now, where listen.
You think that now, again, but like any fight, like we said, styles make fights, styles make games and matches and matchups. If Karl-Anthony Towns plays the way he could play and the way he played in the fourth quarter as a big man with the shot and dominant like that, even though he says, "Oh my God," even though he's a little zesty sometimes, if he plays big,
it's bringing the zest.
After the game, did you see how he was talking in a fake low voice?
I love it, though. I love him. I love how he's playing. I love what he's capable of. Then you got a matchup. If he plays big like that, it doesn't matter. We don't know how that's going to match up is what we're saying.
And last week on the show, we were talking about those 20-point leads. They evaporate like that.
Dude, that was nuts. Props to the Knicks, by the way, for making it a series. That was insane. What was the headline? Chokes on them. Chokes on the Pacers.
Yeah.
So I believe that was the cover of the New York Post.
Well,
chokes on the Pacers.
This series seems way more lopsided than the Knicks could tie it up tonight. To me, I feel like the Knicks blew an opportunity in game one. Game two was like, what are we doing, son of a... And now game three, the Knicks, they came back. I feel like the Knicks are hanging out for dear life. Like, they're hanging out like on Van Gundy's leg in the 90s. I feel like the Knicks, if they win...
pulled that off, dude. That was awesome.
Dude, if they...
Big win.
Somehow find a way to win tonight, and Vegas has Indiana favored by 2.5, so they're expecting a close game in Las Vegas. So odds makers are saying this is a close game. 2.5 points, Indiana at home. If the Knicks find a way to win and go back for game 5 at the Garden, each game at the Gardens, the magnitude is even higher and higher. This will now be the biggest game at the Garden in 25 years.
So pumped to watch tonight. Make it a series. Rooting for the Knicks, obviously, just for the fun of it. They're saying Knicks in 6. Why? Because it rhymes? I don't know. They have to go on a major streak right now. But just gives you more incentive to pay attention tonight to see if these teams could match up, either one of them, Knicks or Pacers, with what seems to be unstoppable Oklahoma City Thunder, who are up 3-1. Now, what's up, Sam?
So the Pacers have actually lost game 3 in each of their series so far. A little nugget for you. So maybe there's just something about they take their foot off the gas, then they seem to regroup and get things done.
Yeah, I'm looking at the home and away standings for the teams remaining. Now, OKC just had such a great record. They were 68-14, so they're going to have a good home and away record regardless. But at home, 35-6, but there's no other team left in it that was so dominant at home. Like Indiana was 29-11 at home. That's good, but no one's like unbeatable. Remember the year that there were years where the Bulls, or remember when the Warriors had lost, it felt like they lost like a game at home. There have been teams that are just unbeatable at home. That's not the case now. It's very easy for the Knicks to go in tonight and win. You wouldn't be shocked.
One of Kendrick Perkins, Big Perk. Which, by the way, Big Perk looking big. I don't know if you've seen
hefty Perk.
He's been talking about how home court advantage means nothing.
There's just not
for
a
the
team.
Fans it does.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's just not a team.
Maybe at this stage,
Yeah, I'm saying there's not a team right now you're looking at that, other than maybe the Thunder, but you could say the Thunder has an equally good road record. They're just that good.
What up, Big Big Perk? So we talked about the early 2000s, right?
Yeah, buddy.
Now, besides great basketball over the weekend, some good baseball, it was also the Indy 500. And I shouted out Alex Palu, number 10. He's the grand winner, the grand champion.
Oh, is that why when I walked
500.
in today, you were pouring milk all over yourself?
Yeah, because it's the thing.
He does that every day.
Yeah, I mean, I do it every Tuesday.
Did you see some of those plants?
Because the tacos are spicy.
Did you see some of those plants at baseball games where they had people pouring milk on themselves and like almost promotion of the Indy 500? Happened in a Mets game, I
They did-
believe a Red Sox game.
Indy 500 did big numbers this year.
Yeah, I'm not rich enough to really care yet, Sam.
Yeah.
One day.
I need another zero in my bank account to be like, ooh, IndyCar.
But no,
it's like
props.
it's a rich person's sport.
Alex Palou won it all.
I mean, to be invested. I feel like retired famous athletes are all like, oh yes, IndyCar.
But ratings are up 40% from last year.
It's amazing.
So people are tuning in.
No, people are tuning in. People are betting. People are excited. I saw a lot of the coverage, a lot more coverage too. It was prominent there, even when you got great baseball and NBA on. So you're seeing that next level impact that it's having.
Speaking of a rich sport, each tire they go through is about $2,500.
No way. For
Yeah,
real?
Man,
yeah.
They need to call Tire Wreck.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, man. They should definitely hit up Tyrek.
They give you a personalized recommendation, I hear.
Let me tell you about our algorithm real quick. Besides giant circus boobs and women dancing,
And
Rich and I, we had our come up at SiriusXM for the most part, right? Covino and Rich, and we're still on the music side of things on SiriusXM. I'm on Turbo every night. That's Channel 41, hard rock of the 90s and the zeros.
sorry to hear that.
And I mentioned Creed, right? Well, in my algorithm, I kept seeing that there was a SiriusXM Creed car in the race. And it was driven by Felix Rosenquist. Felix Rosenquist.
Who?
He was in the 5th spot, Felix Rosenquist. And it was a majestic-looking car. Honestly, it's worth looking up. Creed and SiriusXM, Felix was driving it. And over the weekend, because of the whole Creed tie-in to the race, I saw that Scott Stapp was there. The whole band was there. Mark Tremonti, all the dudes from Creed were there. And they posted a photo with some of the hardest hitters, pun intended, that I've seen in one photo together. So first of all, you have one of the biggest comebacks in the past year in the world of music, Creed, who went from everybody's 2000s joke to like really making a lot of money thanks to the Texas Rangers hype and their big major comeback and their tour. They've made a lot of money in the past year, and their songs kind of hit mainstream again in a joking yet serious way. With arms wide open.
Oh, weren't they singing
Higher?
My car door is wide open.
Car doors wide open, right?
Well, they were the rally cry, like you said, of the Rangers. They've made a comeback. They've toured. You did a pretty cool, fun sit-down interview with them.
I did. If you have the SiriusXM app, search Creed. You could see me and them reunited and unplugged. I hosted the whole thing. But as far as comebacks, they made some serious money. Cha-ching. Anyway, this dude is driving the Creed Sirius car, and it was a power photo snapped of Creed, Scott Stapp right there in the middle with his glorious hair, and it's Tom Brady, Alex Rodriguez, and Derek Jeter all in one photo. Big Papi must have not been there that day. I know he rolls with them. I could be him. And I'm thinking to myself, this is how rich guys party, I guess. Look at them in their sweet bomber jackets and their sweet little outfits. I think Alex Rodriguez was packing a fungo bat in that photo.
Yeah.
If you look closely. But
Honestly, it looked like he had produce in his pants. If you see this picture that he's talking about,
he's got a torpedo bat.
I feel like A-Rod, yeah. Is he, carrying a torpedo bat for
smuggling
later?
an Easton? What do you got
My
in there?
goodness.
So check out this power photo I described from
must-
the Indy 500.
He must be wearing those extra fitted Travis Matthew pants.
It's Creed, and I imagine that Creed is more excited for the photo than Tom Brady is, or maybe they're all closet secret Creed fans. I don't know. There's always that mutual respect between rock stars and athletes, right? But if you look up Creed's page, if you look up anything, you'll see photos of, again, Creed with Brady, Jeter, and A-Rod. So that poses this question as we watch from afar and just assume that everybody's life is cooler than your own, thanks to social media. Who would be your big three?
Oh,
Because
that's a good question.
honestly, if I were going to take a star-studded photo, I would choose any one of those dudes. A-Rod, Jeter, and Brady. That would be the coolest photo ever, dude. Imagine you were in a photo, even if you don't like them. That is like, because we asked Big Mike, too. Hey, Big Mike. Who
Who?
runs this? Big Mike. Who runs this place?
Never heard
I
of
call
him.
him just Big now.
Words of wisdom guy?
Yeah. He was like, I would choose, who did he say?
Never
Lance
heard of him.
Armstrong, O.J. Simpson, and who was it? Another controversial athlete.
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, somebody
I
like
think it was
that.
like Bill Cosby or something.
Yeah, so it's like, who would your big three be? It doesn't have to be someone you necessarily admire, but would you turn down A-Rod, Jeter, and Brady? That's a pretty great photo if you were ever that lucky to get one.
Give me your top 3. What is your now? Here's the question:
That might be
do you
it,
choose your
dude.
personal favorite, or do you go simply based on like most mammoth? Like if I'm making my photo,
Jordan would have to be in that photo for the most part.
or do you want LeBron in there? He's more relevant.
Maybe LeBron. I think those are the only guys missing. Like, that's a powerful photo right there.
If you
That's
want-
bragging rights even for Creed.
If you're a kid of the 80s or 90s like I am, my power photo is simple. If you're going to choose 3, I'm going Jordan, Tyson, and Joe Montana. But then you could say the more
Jordan,
relevant photo.
Tyson, yeah, that's a great one too. Man.
Jordan, Tyson, and Montana.
Everyone's gonna have a different.
the
3,
more
yeah.
the more relevant answer would be Tom Brady, LeBron, and maybe Ohtani.
Now, is this a dream scenario or realistically? Like, do they need to still be with us?
You can give us both, Danny. There's no rules to our silly hypothetical. You can,
I mean, in the actual photo, clearly they're all alive,
yeah,
right?
let's go. We can
but
start
it
with
doesn't
alive.
matter.
Because otherwise I'd say Abe Lincoln, Babe Ruth, and
No, because I was just thinking of Laker greats. Like, imagine being in the same photo with Kareem, Magic, and Kobe.
yeah. Now, think about it. Would you want to only make it sports? What if I told you Covino? What if it was like, what about Dave Grohl or Lenny Kravitz and Derek Jeter and
Oh, it'd be Chris Cornell. He'd have to be there,
Nice.
right? I mean, he's a beast. Have to be Cornell. I'd go 90s rock.
Rest in beast.
Yeah, rest in beast. It'd be. Oh, I'd have the trio.
Do Scott Weiland.
Wait, yeah, I'd have to have Scott Weiland, right? But then I have to have Cobain, but then I leave out Lane Staley. Oh, that's a tough one,
Are you
bro.
doing a music photo instead of a sports one?
Well, you brought up Grohl, you bonehead.
No, but I'm saying if you had to do a combo, what if you were
Oh,
like
combo.
Like, all right, let's keep it alive to make it more simple. Alive. Would you go Grohl, Jeter, Tyson?
No. I love Grohl, but after he cheated on his wife, I just can't look at him the same.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, no, my girlfriend's listening, bro. You know what? I could never really accept him the same way. Now, we pose this question to you, Fox Sports Radio Nation. Who's your big 3?
Keep
you
him
get
alive.
this dream photo in honor of Pee Wee Herman's documentary. If John B. gave you one wish, Mecca hi, Mecca hiney ho. Mecca hi, Mecca chani ho.
Now, if you were able to take 3 living stars, music, sports, entertainment, and have a photo that you put on your mantle, you put in your man cave on your desk at work.
And you leave Covino and Rich out of it,
Yeah, you
okay?
got
You don't
please,
have to
yes.
include us. It's all good. We're not offended. Yeah, if you could pick any
The 2
3,
of you count for 3 because of Rich's head.
who would it be? Honestly, that's a tough one. Would you go ladies or would you go like superstars? Would you include ladies in your photo?
Sydney Sweeney counts as 1 or 2.
Yeah, I know. 2, I think.
You know, I would love to hear the answers.
Your
Then
big 3.
we're going to talk a bunch of other fun stuff, so hang tight.
I was thinking sports, though, to simplify
Okay.
it. But if you have like an answer you want to share, that's fine.
Let's hear about it. Let's talk about it.
Because
Taco Tuesday.
Jeter, Brady, A-Rod, that's pretty stellar right there.
Jeter, Brady, A-Rod.
Like,
How about if we do quickly one sports and one celebrity based?
Okay.
That way the callers can
Fair enough. Let's do it.
give us
We'll
2
get your
rounds.
feedback
quickly.
next.
Yeah.
We'll do some Tyson trivia coming up. We'll talk some more NBA playoffs. And, of course, we're a third of the way through the baseball season, so some observations all coming up right here. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture. We talk about sports. We talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo
joking.
Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, "Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense." Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I like point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all's show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event
You
during
can't.
a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo
joking.
Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I like point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all's show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event
You
during
can't.
a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
By the way, Iowa Sam, this is my favorite Creed song for real. It's called Torn, yeah.
It's underrated. It's kind of one of their lesser-known hits.
I used
It's a
to
great
think they
song.
said, the beast is dead. The beast is dead. I thought they meant like Mark of the Beast, 666. And then I finally saw the lyrics. It was the peace. The peace is dead.
Not
Torn.
the beast.
Not the beast
At all.
Not the beast at all. Had nothing to do with beasts.
Yeah.
So we're talking Creed because, well, they're on a bit of a comeback. And over the weekend, Alex Palou, who won the Indy 500, was racing against Felix Rosenquist, who drove the Creed SiriusXM car. He was in the 5th spot. But Creed was there. A lot of superstars were there, like Danny G and Iowa Sam pointed out. By the way, we're Covino and Rich live from Fox Sports Radio studios. Hope you had a nice weekend. Hope you had a nice Memorial Day weekend. Saluting the fallen soldiers again. Thank you, guys. Creed was there. Superstars were out. They had that cool Creed car, and the band Creed took a picture with Tom Brady, A-Rod, and Jeter. Or should I say that Tom Brady took a picture with Creed? I don't know.
Maybe he's a big fan.
But it made us think of, well, if John B. granted you a wish, Mecca lecca hi, mecca hiney ho.
Mecca lecca high, make a hiney hole.
Mecca lecca hi, mecca chani ho.
I don't know the rest. Is it Mecca
Mola mecca
lecca?
chala mecca, mola mecca hey.
You're the big Pee Wee guy. Was the documentary good?
It was pretty good.
Okay.
Your wish has been granted. Long live John B. Who would your big three be? I'm thinking world of sports, but if you want to be creative, if it's 3 porn stars, I mean 3 hotties that you want to throw out there, that's fine. But I think, and I feel bad saying this, the more I thought about it, the Jeter-Brady combo I would go for. As much as I love A-Rod, I don't really love A-Rod the way I love Jeter. So for me, it would be like Tyson. I'd have to throw a fighter in there. So for me, my big 3 in my John B. fantasy, if I had one wish, it'd be a cool photo of me, Brady, Jeter, and I'd cut you out of it, Rich.
Okay, perfect.
And I'd leave Mike Tyson there.
That's good.
Yeah, I'd
That's
crop
good.
you out. I'd definitely crop you out. And thanks to AI, we could have any photo we want, I guess, right? But
I was
seriously.
Sam. Are you putting Caitlin Clark in your photo? I feel like you would.
What?
You're such a big Iowa
You know,
guy.
the first name I settled on was not a sports guy, Mike Judge, creator of Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, Idiocracy.
Wow, he's in
'Cause-
your fantasy photo?
because he's like, the way he thinks is like something that I really admire his outlook on the world.
Yeah.
So he's like my high
Oh,
priest.
man, I got to hear the next
so
two.
Iowa Sam has Mike Judge, Caitlin Clark, and who else?
I didn't say Caitlin Clark.
She's got to be in your photo. I feel like you wear Caitlin Clark shirts.
I do have a lot of Caitlin Clark shirts. I just like, I get, okay, she's in there, sure. I mean, I'm like, wait, maybe like 10 years from now, like waiting for her to hopefully win some championships. Man, who else? I would definitely, if it was just like whoever, probably would put Chris Cornell in there because that's my favorite grunge band.
Yeah.
And I loved Anthony Bourdain. I would love to have
Wow.
had a beer and
That's
some
a wild
food.
3.
Yeah.
I like it.
And he's gone, so is Chris.
Somebody
so
make that hat. Someone Photoshop Sam in a
Please.
Cornell Bourdain
I don't want that.
Judge photo.
And Caitlin Clark just chilling too.
yeah.
All right, let's go
gonna
to
turn
your
out weird.
let's go to your feedback at COVINO RICH.
Well, here's the beauty of the. It's like snowflakes, Rich. Everyone's gonna have a different one,
yeah, no two are the same.
right?
Dan, New York State, you're on with Covino Rich. Much like Creed posing with Jeter, Tom Brady, and A-Rod, who's your 3 people in your fantasy photo?
Well, I actually got a photo with Jerry West years ago when he was down in Memphis, and he signed the only jersey that I have or own, the Jerry West jersey. And actually, Shaq and Kobe signed the jersey also. So I'd go those 3.
Yo, that's awesome
Yeah.
for a Lakers fan. Danny G, I have a basketball, right? And it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaq, and no one else has signed it. And I'm waiting for, like, Magic Johnson to stop by the show or something, right? For you, as a Lakers guy, I don't know what your answer is, Danny G, but imagine if you had a photo of those 3 dudes together. I mean, you'd have to have Kobe in there. I know, rest in peace, but that'd be a sick photo.
Let's go to the Bay Area. Butch, you're on.
Hey, what up, Butch?
What's up, Butchie?
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
No problem. What would be on your what's your fantasy photo?
Ronald Reagan,
Ooh.
Elvis, and Wayne Gretzky.
Yo, man, it's so random.
Reagan, Gretzky, and who?
Elvis? Did he
And
say
Elvis, yeah.
Elvis.
Gretzky. He said Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, Gretzky.
That's a good one.
I mean, it's a little bit of everything. See, that's kind of cool too, like music, sports, And then I don't know. Your fantasy, Ronald Reagan.
Tony in Virginia. What's up, Tone?
Hey, fellas. Mine's on the music side. I want Dylan, Willie Nelson, and Mick Jagger.
What if you're a big? What if
And they're
you're
all live.
What
Yeah.
if you,
Thank you, Tony.
What if you like to smoke weed? Would you want a picture with Tyson, Willie Nelson, and Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, if it's your thing.
Or like Cheech and Chong?
You know why?
Bob Marley?
Believe
Bob
it or not,
Marley,
like on a lower level, these things present themselves. Hey, I want to jump in that photo to capture the memory. This is a true story. I remember we were at a party one time,
when you got dissed?
and I got this so hard.
that's the
Check
best.
out what I saw. It was Tony Gonzalez, Jason Witten, and Shannon Sharp, and they were all in a little huddle, like chopping it up at a party. We just happened to be there. Bro, I don't know what came over me, but I was like, this is a photo op, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in there to be one of the sweetest tight ends that ever played the
No,
game.
I'm pretty sure Covino said, "Look at those sweet tight ends."
Yo, I went in there, I gave him a sweet zinger like that, and I tried to turn around like, yo, man, quick photo. They straight up were like, nah. I got done. They like basically shooed me out of their little circle, and I got denied of that opportunity for real. I tried, though.
It was worth a try.
It was worth the try. I would have been
Yeah.
like, yo, look at the legendary tight end photo.
Well, at first they thought you were Mario Lopez, and they said yes, and they're like, "Wait a minute, it's not it." And
When they
said no.
realized I wasn't, they asked
Yeah.
me to leave.
Josh in Ohio, wrap this up. What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys, I got two. One living 3 film directors, Scorsese, Tarantino, Oliver Stone.
Dude, that's if you're a film guy,
No
that's
Spielbergo?
that'd be incredible.
For the non-living athletes, Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, and Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
I think if you find someone with your 3, that's your soulmate. That's how this works. And by the way, everyone's going to have a different answer, and we'd love to hear yours at Covino and Rich, at Fox Sports Radio. But that's all we're trying to do is get you to think about it, because it was a really cool photo, and that was just another highlight of the weekend.
I mean,
hope you enjoyed the races.
To know me, I'm surprised you wouldn't think that mine. It depends. Do you look at it through your current eyes or as when you were a child? Because if you asked me when I was like a little boy, I would have been like Joe Montana, Alf, and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that would have been the one. Hey, by the way, on a side note, Tom Brady in the news because he's opening up a museum with Jim Gray at the Fontainebleau in Vegas. And that's kind of cool. He's taking his memorabilia with Jim Gray's sports memorabilia, and they got a whole museum opening up. So
That's cool.
Tom Brady in the news at the Indy 500. And again, share your answers at Fox Sports Radio, at Covino and Rich. We're going to talk high school sports and, again, Iron Mike trivia. Lots to get to. But first, our guy, DB.
Yeah, Bayer.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, DB, thanks for filling in yesterday, man. Always good.
You're welcome. We had a blast. We had a good time.
Appreciate that, man.
We were there on Friday. Not everybody appreciated it, but hey, we had a good time.
I like you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rich.
I'm a Dan Bayer guy.
Yeah, my photo would be Dan Byer, and Dan Byer.
Oh, that's very, very kind of you. Aaron Neesmith, would he be included in your photo? Well, probably not, but he's going to be available for tonight's Game 4 against the New York Knicks. The Pacers swingman is going to play despite injuring his ankle in Game 3. Did return to action in Game 3 after suffering the injury in that loss to the Knicks, but is a go tonight as he was considered a game-time decision. Tip-off from Indianapolis, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Pacers up 2-1 in the series. Lakers forward LeBron James expected to exercise his option for next season and play in L.A., according to ESPN. News just in as the WNBA released a statement saying their investigation showed no evidence of alleged racist fan behavior during the Chicago Sky Indiana Fever game in Indianapolis earlier this month. The league says they reviewed audio and video from the game in addition to speaking with fans and staff and could not substantiate the allegations made by some Sky players, including Angel Reese. No shows at NFL OTAs include Steelers linebacker T.J. Watt, Bills running back James Cook, and Falcons quarterback Kirk Cousins. 6-seed Novak Djokovic won his first-round match at the French Open. Florida big man Alex Condon is withdrawing from the NBA draft. He'll return to Gainesville next season. And the EA Sports College Football game, the 2026 version, will be released on July 10th. Get help turning your home equity into cash with Rocket Mortgage. To learn how your home can help fund a renovation, pay for your kids' college tuition, or pay off consolidated high-interest debt, call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com. Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, DB. And
Thanks, Dan.
I'm guessing no Aaron Rodgers news yet as he drops hints that he may play with the Steelers.
Nothing today.
Over the weekend, he did say he's too old for New Orleans, right? Didn't he say something along those lines?
Yeah, and then he also said that a certain team played at Chicago, and he was asked if he would ever be a Bear, and the Steelers do play at Chicago in late November. So hints are being dropped.
He's so silly, that Aaron Rodgers. What a guy. All right, we got more Covino and Rich. Thank you, DB. Next, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Now, you mentioned earlier, Covino, Travis Matthew.
Did you see all the looks I got when I strolled into your Memorial Day barbecue? People were like, ooh, what's his secret? Everyone was rocking shorts. I was rocking my pants. You know why? Because they're the featherweight pants, and they're so sweet. And I wanted to get one more wear out of them before the summer kicks in. I was feeling sweet this weekend. The pants are undeniable. Travis Matthew, again, you get 20% off your first purchase when you sign up for email. Ultimate comfort and freedom of movement with Travis Matthew pants. Whether you're hitting the links, heading to the office, enjoying the night out on the town, or just trying to show everybody up at a barbecue. Perfect pants for you.
They got great T-shirts. It could be your first layer or your only layer. Built for movement, made for style. They got new T-shirts that keep up no matter where you're headed. They got button-ups if you're going out for a little date night, want to look a little more official. Got polo shirts. The perfect premium fabric and effortless versatility when you're rocking that polo shirt. And, of course, shorts. You don't need to wear jeans like Covino to a summer barbecue. You can wear Travis Matthews shorts.
Yeah, and say goodbye to those stiff, boxy shorts that your buddies wear. Now, you got to get that modern upgrade. Again, designed for movement with a streamlined fit. You got to look right. These are the right fit. It's all at TravisMatthew.com.
You receive 20% off your first order when you sign up for the email. So, again, just sign up for the email at TravisMatthew.com, and you're on your way.